Hello Dominant Heron, I'm Croix. In today's Raid Shadow Legends video, we're going to be talking about the Nut fusion. Alright, so as you can see on screen, we've got Nut sitting up pretty up top. You're going to have to fuse 4 epics, 3 of the Force of Ambassador Lethalin, and 1 Void as Weregar Suncursed. We'll get those fusions maybe out of the Summon Rush, or sorry, the Champion Chase, because there's going to be a Sacred. 2x during that, and then that would make the fusion a lot easier. But if you're not that lucky, or if you're not going to do the second tier of the Summon Rush, because he is available as a second tier Summon Rush, but not the Void, of course. They wouldn't do that to us. They wouldn't be so kind. But yeah, there's going to be 12 Force Lone Blade Reabs, and then 4 Epic of the Tree Shield Knots. Alright, so and we've got 2 weeks and 2 days to complete this, so a little over 16 days, which is important. And we'll cover that a little bit later. Let's switch over here to Excel. Alright, let me switch over to Excel. Alright, well, Google Sheets, same thing, but not as good. Alright. So we've got the fusion up here in June. It started on the 3rd. It'll end, the final event will end on the 16th. And then over here on the 18th will be the personal rewards CVC. So it'll still be, so we had 2 weeks, 2 days, a little over that. We'll be able to fuse him during their personal rewards, which is excellent. So save fusing him until till personal rewards to get that extra 30,000, unless you're able to pull him before you fuse him. All right, so first off, we've got Spider. Let me switch over to fusion color. There we go. All right. So we're starting off today with Spire, Champion Training, and an Artifact Enhancement. So we're going to want to start focusing our energy into Champion Training. The current energy you have. If you have anything saved up that at least that doesn't expire today, save that for Spider so that you can get a double dip into the Dungeon Divers, which is down here. Boom. So that corresponds. So you'll double dip, getting Dungeon Divers and Spider done on these 2 days, which also happens to be during a CVC. It's non-personal rewards, but getting some nice points there. And then you can finish up your champion training over here on this day once the Dungeon Divers ends. You can do start on the dragon on the 4th, which will correspond with this Dungeon Divers, which is pretty nice. And then we'll have a Classic Arena on the 4th, which you just gotta. I usually get it done very easy, like in the first day, but it just depends on what tier you're in. If you're in gold, you should have no problems with that. Dragon then corresponds with another Dungeon Diver starting here. So you can see down there. And then we have a day of champion training. Focus your energy in there. And then Ice Golem will start to correspond with the final day of this Dungeon Divers. Alright, and then this Summon Rush corresponds with this champion training event and this champion training tournament. If you are trying to do your Summon Rush with mysteries, pulling during champion training and running those new champions through campaign is a pretty good way to churn through those mysteries and make them count more efficiently or effectively than just feeding them into champions in the tavern. So I'll show that. That corresponds there. All right. And then once we got Ice Golem corresponding with the final Dungeon Divers, and then we'll go into Fire Knight, which is going to be our last energy requiring event of this fusion. And luckily, all of this Dungeon Divers and the first Dungeon Divers corresponds with dungeons that are running concurrently. This one is running with champion training, which isn't as good because a campaign doesn't give you as much in the way of Dungeon Divers, but c'est la vie. And then we've got our champion chase, which is pretty lovely for several reasons. One, it's at a time where we got 2x on sacreds, but it's also at the very end of the fusion. So if you want to save all your fusing and then use brews to level up those champions that you fused, then you can save all your fusing until the champion chase and then fuse all of those epics up and get a very nice amount of points. That would be 1,000 points. Oh, actually, no, because one of them is a void. So you get an extra 100 in there. So you'd get 1,100 points of the champion chase, which is pretty huge. If you're really worried about a personal rewards CVC, I guess you could pull your sacreds here and then save all the fusing there. That might be a thought. It just depends on where you are with your sacred shard count. But yeah, let's see. I think that's about it. You can see. I guess I'll explain a little bit more. The Google Sheets, which I will put a link to in the description of this video, so that you can make a copy for yourself and then track along. The way I like to do it is I will black off days that have been completed, so I can see more clearly where I am. And then we've got the rewards up here. Once I collect, I like to go ahead and signify that in whatever color you want to use, to signify that you have collected that reward. This one's showing the rare void and the epic, because those are both rewards for this summon rush. Some of these are tilted off just because we've got multiple things running at the same time. So this Reob goes to the champion training. This Reob goes to artifact enhancements. This one to the dungeon divers. You can kind of figure it out there. Let's see. But yeah, you've got the force ones are the Reobs, and then the epic void is not. So you can keep track of who you have, and hopefully you don't hear my kids screaming in the background. Oh, great. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see, we went all through the highlights and talked about the personal rewards. So yeah, that'll be the end of the video. Thank you for watching until the end. Consider doing all the YouTube things and have a great day. Cheers. The video is over. This is the end screen. You can go now. Bye.